So freaking sweet. But anyways, guys, let's get in.
Zenith's turn to pick.
It is indeed Zenith's turn to pick here as we are in the Dotatalk League quarterfinals, guys. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. If you tuned in yesterday, you saw a lot of the day one action as we got ourselves down to just 8 teams. We had our group stage yesterday. This tournament featuring some of the best teams in Southeast Asia, as well as some strong sort of tier 2 Chinese teams. We've got ForLove, Rising Stars, and Rattlesnake also competing. It's ForLove here who got second place in their group, taking on Zenith, who managed to 3-0 their group. They didn't drop a single game yesterday. We managed to catch all those games here on the Beyond the Summit channel. If you missed some of them, you can always catch all our VODs over on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BeyondTheSummitTV. But for now, guys, we are in a quarterfinal match. We've got 4 quarterfinals going on right now. This one being Zenith versus ForLove. We've got Orange versus MUFC on at the same time. You can check that game out over on the Beyond the Summit 1 channel, which is twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit. LD is casting that one. Then you've got your other 2 quarterfinals. You've got First Departure up against Neolution International, as well as Myth Trust up against Rising Stars, the other Chinese team. So we've got 2 Chinese teams in the quarterfinals, 2 Malaysian teams. We've got the Thai team, Myth Trust. We've got the Singaporean, Zenith. We've got a nice little mix here. Well, 2 Singaporeans. We've also got First Departure. So a nice little spread between countries here. No real country sort of showing some supreme dominance. I guess it's sort of what you get when you don't include the top Chinese teams, as this is sort of just a small practice tournament for the most part. But we'll see how things go underway here. It is going to be a quarterfinal, best of 1, single elimination playoff bracket here. So the way this works today is we have, well, all 4 quarterfinals going on. Then we have 2 semifinals, which are also best of 1. LD will be streaming one of them. I'll be streaming the other. And then following that, we'll have our best of 3 grand finals going on at the same time as the 3rd place match. I believe the 3rd place match is a best of 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know the grand finals is meant to be best of 3. The 3rd place match might just be a best of 1. We'll have to wait and see when we get to that. I'll ask some of the admins later on. But right now, Zenith up against ForLove. Let's hop ourselves into this draft. We're somewhat already underway with it, as some of you guys can well see. We have Zenith playing over on the Radiant side. They've got the first pick up against ForLove on the Dire side, who do have that second pick. ForLove ban up both Chen as well as Nyx Assassin, Keeper of the Light and Batrider banned on the Zenith side. And Zenith, right off the bat, they first pick a Lone Druid. So generally, it's a hero played by Ice in the off lane. But, well, then they move on to picking Shadow Demon and Darkseer. So they grab themselves another offlaner and Darkseer. But Darkseer at the same time, a potential solo mid and also a potential jungler. So there's a couple different ways Zenith could look to run this if they want to commit to Ice, playing that sort of off-lane Lone Druid. Otherwise, we're looking at XY playing a safe lane farming Lone Druid. And that's something which, well, XY has been playing that carry role, playing heroes like Chaos Knight, Storm Spirit, and definitely could be something we look for to see him pick up. But generally, it's Ice who plays the micro-intensive heroes like the Lone Druid, be it an offlane or even in the safe lane. So we'll have to wait and see how Zenith try and structure their draft and their players here with basically Ice being their offlane, and they picked up a hero like Lone Druid and the Darkseer. So I think maybe we see Zenith sending Darkseer solo mid by Yamate, or they send it into the jungle. We see maybe X-Freedom playing a jungle Darkseer. We'll have to wait and see what they look to go for. Over on the Dire side, ForLove, they grab themselves Lifestealer and Magnus with their first 2 picks. So they get the big team fight with the Mag. No surprises seeing that hero picked up. And Lifestealer as well. There's your strong carry. Also a hero good at dealing with a Lone Druid because of the way that Feast works. You can do more damage based on, well, whatever the HP of the unit you're attacking. So a full HP Lone Druid, you'll do extra damage as well as Lifesteal a hell of a lot. Same applies for that Spirit Bear. So Lifesteal a good hero to have against the Lone Druid. Jakiro, the 3rd pick for ForLove, probably the slight surprise here, especially as a support hero, something which hasn't been picked up that much as of late, but does get itself back into the pool here as ForLove decide to grab that for themselves. And now we get ourselves into the second pick stage. Bans come out on the Sand King, Enchantress, and Brewmaster for ForLove. Meanwhile, Zenith, they ban out the Queen of Pain, Bounty Hunter, as well as Rubik. So we do see Weaver actually 4th pick from Zenith. So they've got themselves most likely their 3 core heroes in Weaver, Lone Druid, and Darkseer. Unless we're seeing Darkseer run in the jungle, then we need something like a solo mid. Because right now, well, the most apparent solo mid is possibly the Darkseer. I guess Lone Druid you can run in the mid lane. I guess 2 possible options there for that mid lane with both Darkseer and Lone Druid. We'll have to look to wait and see how they try and do this. There's one more pick for Zenith. Right now it's up to ForLove. They grab themselves a Shadow Shaman, so there's
Zenith's
most likely their
turn to
other
pick.
support here. Unless we're going really old school and seeing a Shadow Shaman solo mid, that would be actually really cool. I miss the days of the Shadow Shaman solo mid. Something we could see run here by ForLove, but I think more likely this is a support Shadow Shaman. They're going for something which can benefit from those early levels, can help once you get level 6 in pushing. Packs a lot of disables as well, and disables will help a lot against the Weaver. Also, locking down the Darks here as well. I mean, having a Hex as well as a Shackle to
10
prevent him from
seconds
surging away in the
remaining.
landing stage can be very, very useful. You just have to go in for a Gake, and as soon as he
5
surges, that's
seconds
where you throw the
remaining.
disables. You lead off with the slows from the Lifesteal on Jakiro, and that's something which Darkseid can surge out. But once he pops the surge, that's where you time your Shackles. You don't lead with the Shackles. Although Hex, of course, if you've got the Surge off already, Hex is not going to help. He still remains with that Surge max movement speed after the Hex, so you've got to really save those Shackles for when he surges if you are looking to run that up against that Darkseid in the offlane. But more likely, I'd say Darkseid isn't even going to be an offlaner here, quite likely. We'll see the tri-lane coming out from ForLove up against maybe an offlane Lone Druid. Weaver, I guess, maybe going to the safe lane played by XY, but once again, Weaver a potential offlaner as well, so lots of different ways Zenith can look to lane this, and they grab a Templar Assassin, so Darkseid is going into the jungle. We're looking at Yamate playing the solo mid Templar Assassin. Solo mid TA, it puts, well, Darkseid into the jungle and Lone Druid or Weaver into the offlane, with one of them in the safe lane, one of them in the offlane. It depends on who's going to be playing what, how they look to lane this. XY will play one of them, and I imagine Ice in the other. I'd be expecting Ice to play the Lone Druid here. But that also means most likely Lone Druid goes in the offlane. But if they
10
want to switch things around, they could send XY into the offlane Weaver, Ice in the safe lane Lone Druid.
5 seconds.
Couple different ways they can look to play this. Not a whole lot of disables on this Zenith side. They've got they've got a lot of farmers, 4 farmers in fact, with the hard support Shadow Demon, who you must imagine the Ice, the former Orange Esports support player from Malaysia, will be playing. You guys are going to get very, very confused by the end of this. We've got Ice as well as Ice on the same team, but we'll hopefully I'll hopefully do my best to keep you guys as unconfused as possible. Last pick now coming up for the Dire side ForLove, and what are they going to be looking at here? They've got the Mag, who can either run as a solo mid or in the off lane. They want to run him in the mid lane, grab themselves an off laner. Queen of Pain as well as Bounty Hunter, 2 potential solos have been banned out. So they need something else to be played in a solo role here. Heroes like Nature's Prophet are still there. Interesting to note, ForLove are actually playing with, well, a stand-in some of you guys are probably familiar with in Highfish, also known as former DK's Zippo. Highfish used to be playing with DK back during TI2. He played this support role for them, so I imagine he's going to be playing the support here for ForLove. And the question is, how do ForLove match up against Zenith, especially with, well, probably one of their most well-known and famous players, Banana, Bew, leaving their team. And with Banana out of the team, this is a slightly weaker roster, slightly weaker team. But we'll have to wait to look and see. They've got Zippo now playing with them, so maybe that's something where they can get themselves a stronger team, a stronger roster, as we'll find out how they are looking to do here up against Team Zenith as we do hop ourselves now into the game. The picks concluded, as it is going to be XY playing the Weaver. That puts Ice onto the Lone Druid. So if we look at Zenith's standard laning, it sends Lone Druid to the off lane. But this isn't going to be Zenith's standard laning. Ice heads down bottom, and this is going to put XY into the off lane on that Weaver, I imagine. So XY's been playing that safe lane carry role throughout yesterday. Is now going to the off lane. I think it's entirely because of this Lone Druid pick. They want to run the lanes with Lone Druid in the safe lane, and they say, well, Ice is the better Lone Druid player. XY is a player in Southeast Asia known for his ability to play absolutely any role. During TI2, XY was playing the 4 and 5 position. It was sort of switching around between 4 and 5 position. For the most part, it was playing the 4 position, except when they picked up junglers. When they had Chen or Enchantress, it was X-Freedom who played the junglers, and XY would then go over to the hard support. So he can play both support roles. Back when he was playing with Aeon, he was playing the carry role, and now with Zenith, he's been spending a lot of time playing solo roles, playing solo mids, playing, well, heroes like Stormspirit as a safe lane carry. So he's a player capable at a lot of different roles. We see X-Freedom, he's going to be running jungle. Oh, early Sentry Ward coming down. It's out of range. It now gets pinged. It looks like X-Freedom knows where it is. And he's saying, damn it, I shouldn't have put that Sentry Ward there. There we go. He's going to D-Ward this mid now. Slightly misplayed with that first Sentry Ward. It is going to be Yamate playing the mid lane Templar Assassin. And that's put, well, Ice, the Malaysian Ice. He's on the Shadow Demon. So Ice as well as Ice laning together. This is going to get way too confusing. We've got Magnus being played by Chinese character on the bottom lane. I used to know who this was. Back during the G1 League and the G League, I knew who this mag was. Now I've completely forgotten and don't know my rosters, my players. As we'll have to look to see what this is. Apparently LD's having a couple streaming problems, guys. I know he's looking to get everything done to get it sorted out, but right now everything, hopefully here on this stream on the Beyond the Summit 2 channel, not having anything out of order. Oh, it's you. That's right. Okay. As the chat reminds me, it is you, YOU, from ForLove. You've got the mid player, more Chinese characters playing the Lifestealer. Holy crap! This is definitely you. I remember casting him in the G1 League and thinking his nickname looks like a house or something, or like a temple, and that is you. I'm not sure who this Lifestealer is. We've got Hansi, the captain, playing the Jakiro. And that puts our dual lane at top. You've got Zippo playing the Shadow Shaman, getting harassed down really hard by a double damage Weaver. And he's landing with 8k, the Shadow Fiend. Bottom lane, you've got Mag taking quite a bit of harass here from Ice. And Ice has gone for, well, level 1 Shadow Poison. A very aggressive choice coming out from him. He's really looking to harass this Mag at level 1. And Shadow Poison, better for doing that than having Disruption. Mid lane, you've got a dual lane. This is how they deal with the Templar Assassin. Run this dual lane with Jakiro and Lifestealer. As I wonder if anyone can inform me who is actually playing the Lifestealer now. We've helped with the Mag. You. Speaking of you, well, he's in all sorts of trouble. He's got a skewer. He's going to use it. Already hit, well, stacked up twice with the Shadow Poisons. Even if he gets a third one there, it's not going to do enough damage. Level 1 Shadow Poison, it doesn't really stack all that well with itself. And oh, top lane, they've taken out Weaver. Shadow Shaman and SF, they managed to get him. Meanwhile, too preoccupied with the bottom lane where Mag was getting put under a lot of pressure there. Forced to skewer away, but it's top lane where XY, the one role he hasn't played a lot of. He's played carry. He's played solo mid, he's played support for Zenith, but this is the first time I've ever seen him on that off-lane role, and well, he starts off by giving away a very, very early first blood. It did come at the cost of 2 Sentry Wards. It's like Shadow Fiend, level 1 raises was all that was maybe needed. Now he's full mana, so he hasn't even used any raises maybe. Just right-clicks with the Shadow Shaman Harass. The Shadow Shaman Harass with an Ether Shock, Shackles, you've got the burst damage there as well as the lockdown. Mid lane, Templar Assassin, Yamate, he's got enough gold for that fast bottle of his. But he's still in a lot of pressure here. Up against the Lifestealer's getting quite a bit of farm. There we go, guys. Before everyone freaks out, we have got our CSs now visible for both teams. Highfish now at the top lane. Or Zippo, as you guys will know him. He's using some pulls here. Weaver going to try come in, take a couple of CS where possible. So they want to do his best job. Yep, Weaver gets both those 2 CSs. So well done here. Now he's going to try and steal a few of these neutrals. Meanwhile, it's mid lane. Jakiro taking a lot of damage. It's a rotation coming in from Ice. Well, I was looking for this Jakiro Hansi. Doesn't succeed in getting him, as it looked like there was a haste rune on the TA. Now Highfish taking a bit of harass damage at this top lane. As XY, he's up to 11 CS here. Make it 12. Holy crap, he's farming well here, despite giving up that first blood. He's getting some decent CS. Sure, some of those are going to be small neutrals, which don't give as much gold. And well, here he goes to town on Highfish. Zippo needs to be careful. XY didn't have another Gemini. With a Shikuchi and another Gemini attack, that would have almost been enough damage to kill off Highfish. Highfish, bottle. Is that even his bottle? It can't be his bottle. Nope, it's 8k. He takes the bottle of the SF and says, I'll be using this, thank you very much. He needs it more for himself. He uses the entire bottle except 1 charge. Now passes over the SF. SF will use the last charge, it looks like. Drops a raise, gets a couple last hits, and then he's going to send this bottle back, or maybe even look for a 4-minute room, but I think more likely... Nope, yeah, he's bringing the courier back. We'll see him do a bit of bottle crowing here. Mid lane, the Lifestealer doesn't need a bottle of his own, so... See the bottle action happening from the SF. Bottom lane, Lone Druid, Ice. He's got this Poison Orb, and one Mag, he's getting harassed pretty damn hard. As a result of that, he has managed to get himself up to 9 CS, 17 on the Lone Druid. So both teams with a solid start for the most part here. I like what ForLove have done to make sure this tier gets shut down. It's such a key hero for Zenith when you've got a draft like this. And even with this Shadow Demon rotating in to ensure TA gets some farm, the problem is now for TA, you're getting under-leveled. You're sharing this XP with a Shadow Demon. And for TA, you want to hit that last fast level 6, level 7 to get the max out refraction. Even getting level 8, 9, 10 when you get the extra points in meld is so crucial. And he's going to get slowed down quite a bit as a result of this Shadow Demon coming and taking his XP. Shadow Demon manages to get this top room with the help of a disruption onto the Jakiro, who was looking for it. Couple Shadow Poisons go down, and well, regen rune on Ice. That's going to help him out, sustain himself in this mid lane. Looks like Dire Team now have the Sentry Ward control at mid lane. The Radiant Team had an early Sentry Ward to de-ward, but now it's the Dire Team with a Sentry Ward. They have that detection for the TA, should they try and engage. Although going on the TA with the Shadow Demon here, not really going to be possible. X-Freedom, meanwhile, he's got a bottle in this jungle. He's up to 23 CS. Getting some strong farm on himself there. And here comes a potential gank. Shadow Shaman searching around. Are there any more Sentry wards? It doesn't look like it. Shadow Shaman just going to drop an Ether Shock here. Now start harassing. He's going to go with a Hex as well as a Shackle. Needs a double raise. Can he get it? Yes, he can. XY goes down at the top lane. 8k, the Shadow Fiend picks up another kill for himself. He's now 2-0. Decent CS here. He's slightly behind the Lone Druid, but those 2 kills, including a first blood, going to easily make up for that. Now it's mid lane. Yamate going to get initiated on. There is a disruption if they need it. Going to use on the Jakiro. I think it prevents an Ice Path coming out. Actually, no, he hasn't gone for Ice Path. He's gone for Liquid Fire instead to help chip away at that refraction. Interesting choice coming out. This is sort of a more damage dealing build. You get the damage as well as the slow from the Jewel Breath. You don't get any lockdown by not having Ice Path, but an interesting build coming out from this Jakiro. Lifesteal is disconnected though at a very unfortunate time. He's got Phase Boots. He hasn't got them out on him yet. If he had his Phase Boots here, this could be a dead Templar Assassin. Luckily for TA, Phase Boots are currently sitting at base. Haven't been picked up just yet. More bottles coming out here. It looks like 2 bottles. This is Yu's bottle. This is the Mag. Mag has his bottle. He wants to be refilling it, but right now the Courier is stuck near the top lane. And so we take a quick look at everything going on here. Right now, well, not so tactical pause coming out of ForLove. They needed that pause for the reconnect. And Zenith, well, this is not a good start for them, but they're still looking alright here. Wow. I never actually realized the pause thing prevents you from seeing this gold difference. That's quite inconvenient, I have to say. I'm going to be messaging Valve and say, move the gamer's pause sign, or at least put the difference in gold on top of the gamer's pause sign. But it looks like it'll be pretty even. Well, it looks like it'll be somewhere in the 100 gold to negative 100 to, well, positive, like 50 mark. There we go. It's around that plus 100, going the way of the Dire team ForLove. So absolutely nothing separating these 2 teams. As here we go. It's mid lane. Yamate, he's got a lot of movement speed. We'll be able to bring down the Jakiro here. There's nothing stopping him. Darks are even coming in to help make sure of it. Looks like, yeah, he used to surge on the Templar Assassin. I was like, for a second there, I'm clicking TA, like, is TA hasted? Wait, no, TA's not hasted. Surge it was. Surge helps bring down the Jakiro, and Lifesteal forced to back off now. He would have loved to have his Phase Boots there, as said. Fortunately for him, wasn't the case. Jakiro could have brought those Phase Boots, man. Could have saved some Courier use, although not something that not something really any teams really do as far as using other heroes to bring items out. Not something all that conventional. It does take I mean, it requires Lifesteal to drop on the ground, Jakiro to pick him up, and he wanted to get back to this lane as fast as possible. Let's check out some of these other lanes. 31 CS now on the SF. He was behind by about 6 or 7 CS from Lone Druid, and that's no longer the case. Hardly anything separating the 2 heroes here. We see Darks here. He's up there with the top farmers as well, but a lot of that is neutrals. A lot of that is from this small camp here as well, which don't give us quite as much gold. Some of these big camps, of course, will give slightly more, so all said and done, well, a better measure is looking at this net worth. Darks here, he's actually behind the Lifestealer at mid lane too. So Lifestealer with 29 creep kills, 13 denies. He's got slightly more farm than this Darks here. So all in all, it's still very even between the 2 teams. Zenith start to pull ahead with a slight edge here. Oh, Weaver top lane. Brought down by the burst damage. SF as well as Shadow Shaman are there to do it again. Sentry Ward was there. You lead with the disables, you get yourself a double raise. And I love this SF item that we're going to be seeing picked up. 8k going for a Shadow Blade. Straight into the Shadow Blade. Now they're going to go for a tier 1 tower. And it looks like they should be able to get this with the Serpent Wards being dropped. There are going to be a TP in coming in from the Weaver. Ooh. Thought he was going for that raise there. Weaver going to be potentially forced back here. SF, he gets this tower aggro onto him. So looks like Weaver with this TP in draws the creep wave off and should be able to keep this tier 1 tower alive, especially with Darks here coming in as well. Weaver also going to farm himself some gold using these Serpent Wards. Does need to be careful. There's another creep wave here. Serpent Wards as well as SF. If they start focusing on this tier 1 tower, we probably see it go down. Yep, this will get down to deny range. Question is it going to be denied or is it going to be last hit? Tower gets denied. Shadow Shaman picks it up. So really hard to time that if you're Zenith, but luckily for ForLove, they do manage to get themselves that tower, and that's Shadow Shaman getting the gold. So that's going to be Arcane Boots for him in 20 gold time. Really nice pickup for them as they now will be pulling slightly ahead. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lone Druid actually picked himself up a kill. He took out the mag at bottom lane. That's what we missed there. As we were checking out that top lane clash. Solo kill coming out from Lone Druid, I believe. Onto the Magnus. Yu getting bested by Ice and Ice now 2.1k gold. I imagine we're looking at the fast relic build into a Radiance, but we could even see him transition back and to get some Phase Boots on this bear, get himself a Maelstrom, go for a slightly different build. SF, he gets scouted out top room by a Shadow Demon. They now know that he's going for this Shadow Blade. They should have seen this Shadow Amulet. They can expect it coming. They can look to get some... So, well, preparing sentries, preparing dust, and at least they know they're not going to be caught by surprise by a fully completed Shadow Blade coming out of nowhere. As we now get ourselves into Lone Druid now starting to farm off in his own jungle mid lane. And there's still harass going down on the Templar Assassin. Yamate has got himself phase boots as well as that bottle up. Lifestealer, where's he headed with his phase boots? 42 CS, so he's managed to outfarm Yamate on the Templar Assassin right now. Hansi, Jakiro, playing that support role at mid. Still no boots on him. He's nice and poor, as you'd really expect, especially with a dual lane mid. You can't use the pools here. We see Shadow Shaman have the opportunity to use pool camps at the top lane. The same can't be said for mid. Now the rotation coming in from the Dire team. They bring Shadow Shaman mid. He's also hit level 6. Can find a nice little opening here. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Oh, Weaver. He's going to scout out Highfish here. Can they burst him down? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. No Sentry Wards as well. And now Zenith know that Highfish Zippo is at the mid lane on that Shadow Shaman. Mana boots get popped. He gives mana well, to both his teammates here. As we are going to be seeing that mobility build come out of the Lifestealer. Phase boots in the Drum of Endurance now. He's got the Bracer. Shouldn't be going for that unless you're definitely going for the Drum of Endurance. Oh, Mag, he's been scattered by this Sentry Ward. He steps out of range now, I believe. I think he's out of range here. They can't really kill him because of this skewer, so they want to pretend that... They're going to pretend they haven't seen him here, but they have seen this Mag come in with an Invis Rune. TA lurking around. Mag to maybe try even skewer them backwards here if he wants to get really cocky. Sentry Ward gets planned now on the side here. It looks like they've seen him. They're pinging it. Ice. Oh, he gets RP. Just a solo RP. Can they bring down the Shadow Team? Defensive disruption on himself here. We're going to have to see some burst damage come out. It's going to be the Serpent Wards used just on Ice. Shadow Demon goes down. Looks like they'll just get the one kill here. Maybe get a T1 tower out of this. Serpent Ward's not really in an ideal position though for this. Is there any counter gank coming in? There's just NWP. Yamate finishing off some Serpent Wards. Some good gold going his way now. As a result of that, Serpent Ward's picked up just for a Shadow Demon kill. That was, I mean, not really an ideal gank from ForLove. They only got the one kill. The RP only hit one. The Serpent Wards as well. They used 2 ultimates just for a Shadow Demon. They didn't even get the T1 tower out of it. They got SF still farming at the top lane. Oh, he burst down the Weaver. Luckily caught just the end of that. Came just in time. One Shadow Blade hit, followed up by a well-placed raised, and down goes Weaver. Really nice from 8K. He's now 3-0-1. And this is going to be a big hero to watch out for on the Chinese side for ForLove. Mag at bottom lane. He's up to level 7 now. And 1k gold is up. So you can look to pick up those Arcane Boots of his own. So we see Arcane Boots on Shadow Shaman as well as Mag. Jakiro, he still needs to get his own boots. But right now, I mean, he's okay just being level 5, getting close to level 6 at this point. He's not going to be too worried about his lack of boots. It's more about being in the right lane, the right position at the right time. And boots or no boots, he's still looking okay. And he's going to get himself a bit of farm here. He's actually using some neutral stacks to help catch himself up. There's your boots, there's your Observe Wards, and he's actually got 300 gold on top of that. As SF comes in and says, thank you very much, man, I'll take these. Taxing his little minions. He says, this is that time of month where you've got to just pay your taxes, pay your dues to your Supreme Overlord, the Shadow Fiend. 8k now. Boot, Shadow Blade. We'll look to maybe see some treads and a magic wand picked up here. The Rush Shadow Blade was great, but you still need to go for some of those basic core items like treads as well as magic wand. Sure, you're going to be planning to build a BKB, but having those components to go with it. There we go. Treads, magic wand it is. Picks up a TP scroll, uses up all this gold in a very efficient way. And here we go. ForLove on the moon. They've got Zippo leading the way with a smoked up Shadow Shaman. And he's followed by you, the Mag. Mag looking for an opening. He's got those Arcane Boots. Walked right into a Sentry Ward here, but it's going to be too late for TA maybe. RP comes in, but this is going to be too late. As there's already a defensive disruption coming out. Templar Assassin going to get brought down regardless. One more nuke is all that's going to be needed. They actually drop a Sentry Ward just to make sure. And they'll get a D-Ward under this as well. So the Sentry Ward actually pays for itself. They didn't need the Sentry Ward for the kill because of the AoE they had. They had a Shockwave. They had Jakiro with AoE, but it D-Warded it. So ForLove going to try and get themselves a T1 tower now with this Serpent Ward's being dropped. It's been such a long time since I've seen the Shadow Shaman pick, and I've missed this hero a lot. This is a really fun hero to see played as a support. It offers so much. 2 disables, Serpent Wards, and a really strong nuke and Ether Shock. The problem is the mobility. Not to mention the weak laning stage. You don't really offer a whole lot. XY looking for Jakiro. Will Brand to bring him down on the side here. Meanwhile, it's going to be a shackle going on to NWP. Yamate in all sorts of trouble. Brought down by the SF from the side. SF now with a double kill. He's going to get disrupted up. XY needs to just run though. He's taking too much damage. He's really low on HP. He's actually now going to bottle himself up, but he's so squishy. 400 HP Weaver. Oh, SF still in Shadow Blade. May look to turn race around on Weaver. Weaver. Chikuchi, nope, not going to be up. Not going to go for it. SF. Sitting in these trees. Shadow Blade again. Can he find this Weaver? Doesn't look like he'll be able to do so. Lone Druid, Relic up. There's your big item coming out on Ice on that Lone Druid. As Zenith, well, this Weaver has really had a struggling time here. And all said and done, it's looking like a really solid start for ForLove. They're up by about 3k gold all of a sudden. With this 1.5k XP lead as well on top of that. And they've got Shadow Fiend up to 1k gold. Probably see him pick up an Ogre Club. Start working on that BKB, and yep, right off the bat. This is so different. This is, I'm so used to seeing like someone like Mushi play SF, where he'll like save up 6k gold before he buys like his BKB. He doesn't buy the components. When you watch the Chinese players play, as soon as they have that 1k gold, Ogre Club is flying out. They want that extra 10th strength. Someone like Mushi's like, let's wait and see if I really want a BKB. Let's wait and see. Or let's even try catch my opponents by surprise. But 8k says, dude, plus 10th strength, that could save my life. I'm going to bring it out right now. Zenith now. They're looking to start grouping up and pushing, even without the Radiance complete on the Lone Druid. He's got the level 7 bear, so the Demolish can do some extra damage to this tower. Problem is, Zenith, they give themselves up at bottom tier 1 tower. SF picks it up as well, so he's already up to 900 gold. Tier 1 tower, some more farm going his way, and, well, things are looking really good for him at this point in the game. Darkseer is a completed mech now, and for Zenith, well, the big items are going to come from Darkseer with the mech, as well as Lone Druid with the Radiance. TA is still a bit of a way away from a Blink Dagger and only hits level 8 just now. As well as talking about running that dual lane mid for Zenith. They moved Shadow Demon mid. They battled the dual lane of ForLove with a dual lane of their own, and that essentially worked in the favor of ForLove. ForLove had a hero farming, the Lifestealer, who's not as level dependent as the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin, you need to get levels on it. At this point in the game, you want to have a level 10 Templar Assassin. You need the maxed out meld. An extra 100 bonus damage and minus 8 armor. Minus 8 armor with 200 bonus damage is huge compared to level 2. Minus 4 armor and 100 bonus damage. It's such a big difference as you level it up. Lone Druid, he sneaks in the tier 1 mid tower. TP coming in too late from the ForLove side. But right now, there's a couple problems to Zenith. One being the under level TA and, well, also slightly under farm. Then you've got the offlane Weaver, who's really had a struggling time. 4 deaths to his name, and he's building a drum of endurance for his team. Going for those utility items. See him just looking to maybe tank up as much as possible, knowing that there is no way he's going to be a reliable carry this game. He's just got to just go for whatever sort of survivability that he can afford. And Mag now with a Blink Dagger. Despite running in that offlane, with all the tower gold that ForLove are getting and coming to these fights, getting supported, getting some assists, he finds himself with a Blink Dagger. And this is 15-16 minutes in as an offlane Mag. This is a good position to be in. And now ForLove going to move into the Roshan pit. Look to turn their lead into an even bigger lead. When ahead, you get further ahead. No need to look to force the issue, go for more tier 2 towers when you can just get yourselves an easy Roshan. Zenith are making a play for this. Looks like they know they're smoked up. They drop a central. Going to try to scout things out now with the Shadow Demon. They may be too late though. Roshan going to go down before Zenith can commit to this. SF picks up the Aegis and here comes Lone Druid. He's got a Radiance. This could be the fight for Zenith to take with this Radiance now. SF going to get an ultimate off from the low ground. Hits perfectly onto the Shadow Demon. There's a lot of damage. Mech from X Freedom trying to keep people alive here. TA's brought down Jakira. SF trying to find his way out of this one. Going to lose track of the Darkseer onto the low ground with the Surge now, as it's Lone Druid with this Radiance doing so much damage. ForLove have lost 3 heroes, and this is the timing that Zenith were after. Get the Radiance up, take the fight to ForLove. Problem is, SF has an Aegis, and SF is just ripping through some heroes here. Shadow Blade on cooldown will be brought down, it looks like. Aegis is there, he'll have that Shadow Blade back up. Are there sentries or dust? Yes, there is. X Freedom with dust. He's going to have to pop this now. Does so right off the bat. TA Trap going to slow down the SF. SF maybe just going to have to turn around and fight. He is going to do so. He brings down the Weaver. Almost brings down Lone Druid as well. What a play from 8k, but it's just not enough. His team, they all just dissipated to this Lone Druid with the Radiance. Ice. The timing was right for Zenith. That was the fight they needed. Even though they were too late to prevent Roshan going down, prevent Shadow Fiend from picking up the Aegis, they still find themselves getting a great clash. And, well, getting, well, four kills plus an Aegis. It looks like there was only one hero they didn't actually kill that fight. They took the fight they needed. Mag, his RP, I think was on either cooldown or he just couldn't find a good RP in that fight before he got brought down. And as a result, ForLove get their dishes served up to them, and that did not go too well for them. 4 or 5 kills going the way of Zenith. And Zenith now see a nice little bump going in their favor. XP graph. That takes a big jump in the way of Zenith, almost getting back to even now, and ForLove are going to be thinking twice about their next move, their next team fight that they take. Really good fight going the way of Zenith now, as we'll have to look to see how things progress from here. Darkseer really setting things up there. That was really, to me, the big hero that decided that. You've got Darkseer, Vacuum really getting everyone in ForLove just in a position where they don't want to be. ForLove want to stay more spread out, but you get the Vacuum in. You can follow it up with, I mean, even just AoE damage from a Shikuchi at this point can really do some decent damage to Shadow Shaman, Jakiro. The Dire team don't have a mech, and the Radiant team, the Darkseer mech helped keep people alive. The Surge as well. That SF got kited around a bit by that Surge. And as a result, well, Zenith got themselves a good fight here. They're going to find themselves being under siege out the mid lane. SF marching in. Well, no, SF respawning in 3 seconds time, but it looks like 3 heroes here with Hansi, Zippo, as well as you. At least trying to get some momentum going the way this Radiant team's tier 2 tower, but I don't see them looking to push this. They haven't got Lifestealer, as well as the SF. SF about to respawn, and Zenith will be like, hey, SF's not even alive. He can't even TP into this. He can TP to a tier 2. I imagine we'll see ForLove retreat. They should be retreating right off the bat here. Jakiro, man, got some balls of steel. As does Mag. This is going to go badly for ForLove if they try and stay too long here. And we're going to see Ice look to come on in. It looks like there is an escape from Mag. Luckily, he blinks out just in time, but it's Hansi who takes a fall. Lifestealer, really for no reason, forcing the issue a bit too much at the mid lane. There is a Beetle on this Mag now. He's already used Skewer as well as Blink. There's no more Blink out here. He's going to get caught by the lone Druid. The Spirit Bay gets entangled the first hit, but I don't even think it matters. There was no potential for a blink out. Skewer was on cooldown. You're not blinking with the Radiance damage on you. He was going down with or without that Entangle. The Entangle just made it easier to kill him off. SF not even going for a complete BKB. Picks up the Yasha for the time being. He wants that extra movement speed. And I think this is an okay decision. The Yasha will help a lot against the TA traps. And this is a disable lacking Zenith roster. I mean, Zenith right now do not have a whole lot of disable. So having the extra movement speed and mobility from a Yasha could be a better way to play this. The BKB ultimately will help a bit up against Disruption, up against Darkseer, Vacuum, and Iron Shell, but it's not as essential. Maybe we even see a Sanjin Yasha. I mean, it's something people might joke about, but it's good survivability. It's just a general, all-around item, and if you consider this lineup not needing a BKB, what do you actually need it for? Shikuchi damage? Templar Assassin? Well, nothing really there. Meld still hits through BKB as far as I know. You can get away from the trap. Okay, traps don't hit. Traps don't hit. Shikuchi doesn't hit. Disruption. Purge damage gets blocked. You still get slowed by the Purge, but the Purge damage is pretty minimal. And then Darkseer. Darkseer's the main one that you'll be blocking with a BKB. His nukes. The Vacuum as well as Iron Shell. But maybe this isn't even a BKB game at all. We'll have to wait and see. But definitely BKB not a priority this game round. Urn now going to be the next time choice in the Weaver. So really going pure utility in that offlane role XY. With Mag U. He needs to maybe start looking at a mech for his team. As much as he'd probably love to go for a fresh orb, this looks like a game where he may need a mech. They need that sort of team fight survivability. The plus armor as well will help a lot against, well, Weaver, Lone Druid, and TA. All that physical damage. Plus armor from mech. Definitely going to be a nice little pickup here if we could see that come up. SF, where does he start getting to work on now as far as his next item's concerned? TA, Yamate, has his Blink Dagger, has 1k gold on top of it, so he's found himself, after that big team fight, in a much better position. He was lacking gold, didn't have a Blink Dagger, didn't have hardly anything, but now all of a sudden, level 11, Blink Dagger, and much more. Smoke going to be used by Zenith. Looks like they missed the Templar Assassin. Ooh, can they get this SF here? Have they got Dust? They've got one on the Shadow Demon. I guess BKB can basically ensure that you escape these kind of ganks. With the Disruption, as well as a Vacuum, that can be enough to kill someone like the SF. Ooh, Dust is going to come too late. SF is already out of there. The Shadow Blade movement speed with the Yasha. He gets away just in time. Can they look to fight this? It looks like ForLove are going to try and force this. They've got a smoke gank of their own coming in. No Blink Dagger up yet for Shadow Shaman, so we're not going to see that Blink initiation. And whoa, Templar Assassin, got to be careful coming in from the side. He's got an Invis rune. It's only a matter of time till this Dire team start picking up a gem, but for now it's only Sentry Wards on the Shadow Shaman. And they're not going to make a go on this. Zenith, they back off for the time being. Lifestealer's got an armlet, drums, phase boot, so he's going to be much more potent in these teamfights with his complete armlet. Oh, Blink up here. They're going to look for Yamate. I think they should be able to pick up this kill. No chance for a Blink out. That's worth an RP here too. Killing off TA, with TA on the sidelines. Pushing becomes a whole lot easier, although there is a buyback if he wants to use it. But more than anything, I think ForLove realized they've got to go to the late game. They've got to play a more farm-heavy style of play here. And any solo pick-off they can get on someone like a TA at this point who's level 11 with some good gold is going to be worthwhile. And they can even look to just get a tier 2 tower out of this if they're possible. Ooh, Dark's here. Vacuum already used here, maybe used a bit preemptively. Swarm going to go down on the sides as well. Hansi taking a lot of damage. Weaver is looking for this kill, needs a Shackles here. Weaver dodges the Ice Path. He's still looking to sort of weave in and out of this fight. Lifesteal gets slowed by a trap. Now TA has brought back here, and they're going to bring down Jakiro. Weaver doing some great job kiting heroes around. He will be able to get out of here. Meanwhile, in the main fight, it's... Oh, Lifesteal getting burst down to pieces. He infests into a creep. His armor toggling to victory here. Can he keep himself alive? The Radiance is going to make this really hard. Meld damage coming out of Yamate. Lone Druid picks up the kill on Lifestealer now, and 2 heroes on the sidelines. Lifestealer as well as Jakiro. And ForLove, despite all their fantastic early game efforts, especially coming from this Shadow Fiend, suddenly find themselves even on kills. 12 kills apiece. The gold graph only slightly in their favor, about 2k, and XP no longer in their favor whatsoever. High Fish, Zippo at top lane, gets caught by a trap, and there's no running. His Blink Dagger's sitting at base. It's not here yet. He's going to be brought down. Mag, Blink, Skewer. He's going to try bringing Yamate into his own base, as well as the Spirit Bear. Ice Path coming in, but this is going to be bad for Mag if he gets brought down here. Weaver's chasing him. Weaver's got an Urn Charge as well for some additional chip damage. Although Mag is going to get back to the safety of his own tower. It looks like he's not going to commit to it. Needed to use that Urn Charge maybe a little bit sooner. Weaver looking for a TP out. Ice Path not going to find him. TP's out just in time, and now this tier 2. Nope, not going to be brought down. Lone Druid at bottom. SF was going for the counter push. SF decides, holy crap, this thing is not working. This game is not going our way. We've got to come up with something new. We need a new battle plan. Manta style. He's going for that split push. The first departure style of play. When you're behind, when you can't team fight your opponents, you go for that split push. It's what Miracle always does for his team. When they can't fight, when they fall behind early, it's all about just split pushing the victory. I mentioned it earlier, they need something like a mech up this team, I feel. Mag with 1400 gold could be the one to do so. High Fish, Zippo, he's 2 and 2. He's got that Blink Dagger, so there's much greater potential for ForLove to look for pickoffs now. With this item, they can really start looking for some smoke ganks, have that long range initiation. Right now they've been relying on a Mag with a Blink. Oh, Vitality Booster. I guess we're seeing a Vanguard here. Just whatever you can to tank up. The damage block will help a bit against the physical damage. You've got Lone Druid, Weaver, TA, all this physical damage. Damage block will help a bit against it, but think about a mech. Think about the damage. I mean, mech doesn't block the damage, but it reduces it. And that means every single hit. It's damage block coming out of a mech here. I don't know if this Vanguard is the right way to play this as a mag. Maybe we see Jakiro, but yeah, Jakiro's building the mech for the team, so... But the problem is, Mag could have had the mech now almost. He was about 300-400 gold away from having a mech. Oh, Shadow Shaman was blinking in, looking for this Weaver. This is the other power of the Blink Dagger. You can get kills on a hero like this Weaver using it, but not going to succeed in doing so. Weaver now in a bit of trouble here. We'll get scouted in a second. Is there going to be any initial... Could have gone for a Blink RP maybe. Decides against it. High Fish, Zippo. Forced to run for his life as Weaver was going for a bit of a cheeky little solo kill there. Zenith now smoking around, trying to look to come in from the side, and this is why. They know Roshan's back up soon, so they want to be looking to get themselves in advantageous position as far as map awareness and getting some kills as fast as possible goes. SF, he's going to try and prevent this with his split push. Oh, there's a smoke up. Lone Druid is looking for SF, but he's already backed off. Darkseer as well. Trying to come in. Darkseer with a gem now. So Zenith really want to get some strong map control here. They're looking for kills. They're looking for map control because they know this next Roshan is going to be so important. SF, oh, he's been scattered out by the trap, but I still don't think they can go and get him. He should have spotted. He'll spot the Darkseer poking around here. I think Lone Druid will quickly realize there's very little chance of succeeding in ganking him. And as mentioned, SF, he doesn't need that BKB. He may as well keep this Ogre Club for now. It does give some good raw HP. There's High Fish dewarding the trap of the Roshan pit, knowing that Roshan's coming up soon. And well, High Fish, Zippo preparing for the Roshan fight. Dewards the trap inside the Roshan pit as well as any Observer Wards here. So smart to use two sentries there, not just to get rid of the Observer Wards, also to get rid of that trap inside the Roche pit itself. Lifestealer going to scout out what's going on here with the Spirit Bear. It's going for an Assault Caress now. That'll be coming up pretty soon here. And still no mech up on Jakiro. He can look to pick up that Buckler of his. Well, he will get scanned up by the Radiance of the Bear. That'll do some annoying chip damage. Zenith, have they got another smoke up? They may need to look to use one. Yep, they've got one on Shadow Demon. That may be what they want to use soon. They deward this Observer Ward, but that was about to expire regardless. It's this one up high in the Roshan pit that's going to be important for him. As Zenith, well, they're not going to go straight for Roshan now. They know that if they can push out these lanes first, Get a tier 2 tower at top. Even if they get this tier 2 at bottom, it'll be much better for them. It'll be fantastic. But there's going to be a counter get coming in. It's Lifesteal leading things off here. Lone Druid, his Spirit Blade gets recalled before any damage comes in. Now TA on the run. Does have a blink up still. NSF going to try Shadow Blade in. Can they even bring down anyone? ForLove bringing 4-5 heroes to this fight. And not finding anyone. Zenith, they scatter and they scatter fast. Delta split, as Pyrian Flax would say. And boy, do they execute the Delta split to perfection. X-Freedom doing some de-warding now near the Roshan pit. Takes out the 2 sentry wards. And Zenith, well, they're going to have to worry about this, what we're seeing now. ForLove going to the Roshan pit. Oh, Blink, they found one. They found Ice. It's the Shadow Demon only, luckily. Just to support here, but they will go straight into the Roshan pit. But there's a counter push at top lane they have to worry about. Lone Druid and TA are up there. They're looking for the counter push at the top lane, looking for the tier 3 towers and the Raxes. Meanwhile, it's going to be a fast Roshan if they can get it. They are going to maybe lose some HP on this tier 3 tower. Possibly even the tier 3 tower itself. We'll have to see some TP back coming in soon. Here's XY at the Roshan pit trying to be complete nuisance. He's going to get shackled up. Hex as well. Is there any follow-up disables? Can they bring down XY? He's already used time-lapse here. SF looking for him. Not going to get him. Tier 3 tower goes down. So tier 3 tower for Roshan. End of the day, that's a pretty even trade. And for ForLove, they're going to have to make good use of this Aegis to justify losing a tier 3 tower to get Roshan. Because this really leaves this top lane vulnerable. They can't afford to keep playing a split pushing game when they've already lost a tier 3 tower. It's going to be the stronger and faster push coming out of Zenith with, well, Assault Crest, I imagine, on the Lone Druid's bear now. Yeah, Assault Crest, Radiance. Not to mention you've got Demolish for bringing down towers even faster. Weaver for some additional right-click damage. You've got the TA as well, who's also got a Drum of Endurance. So they've got drums on TA as well as Weaver now. But all in all, this is, I think, Zenith in an alright position here. They are going to be up against a Mexion and Jakiro, so ForLove will get them their overall team slightly stronger when they've got this mech up, as well as Shadow Fiend's next time. If Shadow Fiend can get a Butterfly up, I don't even think he wants to get this BKB. Nope, he sells it. He sells it and he's going to get a Butterfly, I imagine. If he gets a Butterfly in the next 2 to 3 minutes, and they also have this mech up, I think then ForLove have a window of opportunity. But if it goes too late, they struggle. And right now, well, you have to look to wait and see how things are going to be going for Zenith, how they look to progress to late game. Having a Darkseer in the late game who's starting to build a Scythe of Vice. Shadow Demon a strong support to have in late game scenarios as well. And then you've got 3 sources of right-click damage in Weaver, Lone Druid, and TA. Even though Weaver not going for hard carry items. Same for TA. You see the Drum of Endurance going for these utility items. Not really pure carry items. SF going to get found out here. Disrupted up. There'll be a Purge to follow. He needs to pop this Manta Style soon. He does do so, but he's slowed down by too much here. The Purge is there, but now here comes the backup. Mag is there with the blink up. Lifesteal goes as well. Surfboard's going to drop down. Ice gets brought down fast. Here comes TA. It looks like Weaver actually going to try and bring down this SF, but there's a Shadow Blade. And the gem is gone. Darkseer is no longer in this fight. Oh, caught by the tip of the Ice Path. He's got a time lapse. He's going to have to use it soon, but he's not going to do so in time. SF brings him down. The gem now on the Shadow Shaman. He's got a gem of his own. Darkseer with a gem. Shadow Shaman says, hey, I can do you one better and get one of my own. They bring down both Weaver and Lone Druid. Lone Druid doesn't have gold for buyback after buying that Assault Crest. Weaver has buyback, but this is a Weaver who doesn't really offer a whole lot in defending. They need this Lone Druid. Luckily, Serpent Wards as well as RP get used. So the good news is for Zenith, these ultimates all on cooldown. Even the Requiem of Souls from the Shadow Fiend on cooldown. But this is a fast pushing machine when you've got an SF with Manta Style, Eagle Song, and Empower coming out from the Mag. This pushing power is pretty damn scary. Empower now goes down to the Lifesteal as well, who's Armlet. Gone for a plate mail here. We'll be looking at Assault Crest. There's your buyback from the Weaver. There's going to be Darkseer defending now. They still have the Wall of Replicas, so that should be enough to hold. We should see ForLove backing off here, and they're going to maybe lose the Shadow Shaman. They'll lose their gem. Oh, silly play. Very unnecessary from them. SF now. Shadow Blade up. Needs to be careful. There's a Darkseer nearby, and they've got this gem for vision if they need to use it. If you look to see SF maybe TPing out in just a second here. Darkseer is chasing, hot on his heels. Looks like SF has avoided him for the time being. Going to need another trap to get some slow off. Blink, meld. Darkseer trying to surge and catch up. Can they catch up to this SF though? The Shadow Blade with the Yasha looks to be too much movement speed to do so. Jakiro is coming in with a necessary Ice Path. Well, I should say Ice Path if needed, as well as a Mech and Arcane Boots here. As it looks like Lone Druid is coming from behind. He's going to find the Jakiro here. Needs to land an Ice Path on Bear as well as Hero. Not going to get either of them. Weaver also shows up to the party. Mech gets popped by Hansi. Looks like Hansi going to take a fall. Drops a Jewel Breath just before he goes down. He takes a fall on Zenith. Do they? Well, they can't really transition or push here. SF's still up. Up to 1,800 gold, so no Butterfly just yet. And suddenly, Ice. Well, after dying unnecessarily, he turns things around with a nice little backstab on the support. So he weaved his way through the jungle. with the Weaver himself and gets himself in a better position. Weaver with an ultimate orb, so we'll see either a Scythe of Vice or, I mean, more standard item in the Lincoln Sphere or the Manta style. But with the Drum, the Urn, this looks like pure utility and support item, so maybe it's even a Scythe of Vice. Blinking coming in from Highfish. They want to get NWP here. Templar Assassins and Tiger's going to shackle up the Spirit Bear. The problem is Highfish taking so much damage. Mag, Blink RP, complete whiff. Only catches the Spirit Bear. XY now going to get... Oh no, he doesn't get brought down. He time-lapses just in time, and this fight going horribly, horribly wrong for ForLove. They lose the tier 2 tower as well. They lose Shadow Shaman. They whiff the RP. The only thing they kill is the Spirit Bear. They force out a time-lapse as well, but really forcing a time-lapse is nothing to really celebrate. 40-second cooldown. 0 mana cost. That is just not a victory at all for ForLove. And Mag, if he gets an RP on 2 or 3 heroes there, ForLove can find themselves taking a big, big team fight. And at this point, he can't afford to be using RPs like that. He needs to now go for the refresher. I mentioned he could have gone for a mech before his refresher, but at this point, as we go into really late game, this Mag RP is going to be the deciding factor, and that's where you need a refresher orb up. SF, completed Butterfly, doesn't even worry about buyback gold. He knows that he's the main source of damage, and him having a Butterfly is going to be so, so crucial for this game. Scythe of Vice will help deal with that evasion somewhat. X-Freedom is building his. I mentioned Weaver with an ultimate orb. Unlikely we see a Scythe of Vice, but definitely possible. Mid lane, Mag. He's got the Empower. That's one sort of useful late game spell which we can be seeing on the lifesteal. Give him some extra DPS. That's where he looks to build that Assault Crest. Or High Fist Zippo vacuumed up. Here comes the Blinking TA. Bursts down the Shadow Shaman. Moves onto Hansi. Hansi going to be the next to take a fall, as well as the Mag. Mag gets found out by a Lone Druid Entangle, and 3 now on the sidelines. Zenith can transition into a push here. Things going from bad to worse for ForLove. Firstly, the blow and mid team fight. They didn't have RP anyways for another 15-20 seconds, but now they got to wait for Mag to respawn. He also bought his Perseverance to start getting to work on that refresher orb, which I mentioned, and as a result, doesn't have buyback gold. He would have RP up just now, so they were going to lose these Raxes regardless, but we see them possibly lose 2 sets here. Zenith can swing mid, especially with 2 heroes dead. Do they look to do so? There's a gem up on the Darks here. There was a second gem here, maybe just being picked up by this Radiant Courier. Yep, Radiant Courier with another gem, and into the mid lane. Looks like at least a tier 3 tower going down, possibly even Raxes. Mag still on the sidelines, the 2 supports just about to respawn. Jakiro needs to come back as well. And this Assault Crit is helping prevent a lot of this SF damage coming out. But Zenith, they take a tier 3 tower, they back off. They see Jakiro respawning, and Jakiro with an Ice Path, Dual Breath, Macropire, as well as having that mech back online, could be enough to defend this. So Zenith, they take the safer route, they get the Raxes at top, and they back off. They can wait, transition back into a farming game, try to pick up the Aegis as well as Cheese. This is the 3rd Roshan of the game, so it will be Aegis and Cheese. And Zenith, well, this is a good position to be in now that they've taken Raxes. They were sort of on even terms until those last 2 fights going their way. The fight at mid lane where they got just a tier 2. That was a small little skirmish, but that fight following it where they got 3 kills, that was a large, large battle victory. Not enough to secure the game, but it's definitely getting closer. Zenith can now smell it. It's getting nearer. We've got a BKB on the TA as well as 2k gold. Dark's here, Scythe of Vice, only about 1k gold away. We probably won't even see him saving for buyback at this point in the game. And 4 stuff now up on the support Shadow Demon. So even the supports with some nice item progression, and Lone Druid. 3k gold. You'll see here at the start of his next item. Possibly an MKB for his Spirit Bear, just to basically deal with the evasion of the SF. I like what SF's done, going for the lifesteal here. Knowing he's going to need to basically be the pure damage for his team. Weaver Manta style. So forget Scythe of Vice. That's going to be the Darkseid's job. Weaver's going to go for the Manta style. So slightly more pushing power as well as just, well, the ability to sort of cause confusion. Make it harder for Shadow Shaman to initiate on you when he's not sure who to Hex, who to Shackles. If you get those illusions up. Definitely a useful thing to have in these team fights as well. For ForLove, they need to figure out what they want to do. It looks like they're going to just try and gate the Spirit Bear. You kill it once, it gets really hard for Zenith to push when they've only got 1 Spirit Bear up. He can resummon it. He may be able to retreat it just in time. Oh, they really want this. SF maybe going to lead the way. He goes in. Are we going to see a blink in from Shadow Shaman? Looks like that's not going to be the case, so they're not going to be able to kill the Spirit Bear. A blink Shackles maybe could have done that, but just SF going to look to do a bit of damage here. Start chipping away out, but they quickly realize Zenith won't bottom. I think that's what they thought with the Spirit Bear there. They were looking for maybe a team fight, but Zenith, they grouped up near mid. Zenith will be cautious about this fight. With the Mag RP up, unless they can sort of burst him down fast, kill him before he gets off an RP, they don't really take a fight where they're pushing into the enemy base. They're not going to try to force the issue with a 5-man push. They'll try to find pickoffs and little skirmishes outside the ForLove base. Right now, 8K still looking to farm his way up. He's got his Helm of the Dominator up. Ice. He realizes, hey, there's a ward up here. Stay near, Darkseer. Stay near. He's really struggling. Miss. He got 2 misses in a row. Finally with a hit. Let's see if he gets it this time. No, another miss. Oh, poor Ice. There we go. Finally succeeds in getting it. SF, meanwhile. Let's keep an eye on him. Unfortunately, well, luckily for him, the gem was nowhere nearby. The gem was preoccupied dealing with this Shadow Demon, trying to get that, trying to deward that. Mag now looking for an RP. Would love to see the Infest. Infest into this Mag, man. Now's the time to infest inside. Lifesteal has got buyback gold, so buyback can be crucial here for this Lifesteal. He's just going to go charge again right onto Ice, who doesn't have buyback because there's an entangle up here. SF going to Shadow Blade his way in, but he gets seen by the gem here. He's got no BKB as well. Vacuum going to kind of throw him off now. He's taking a lot of damage. SF forced to pop from the Netzal. He's getting really low. He's going to get brought down so fast here. He's got no buyback as well. Lifesteal is not really working his way. Meanwhile, on the backlines, it's Mag. You can't really do much with an RP when there's no SF damage to follow things up, and with SF on the sidelines, there's no real damage here. Lifesteal offers a little bit here, but he's going to get brought down. There is a buyback from Lifesteal, but SF on the sidelines, and it looks like Zenith with this fight won at bottom lane. This should be the game, and SF just went full Rambo. You do not go full Rambo up against a team like Zenith when you've got a lone druid with an entangle. He just went running in. He needs to stay with the Jakiro. He needs to stay near the lockdown. The Jakiro, the Shadow Shaman. All these heroes are just so crucial that he stays nearby. He can't kill anyone without the lockdown. He needs the mech heal as well. He needs to be there when the Mag RP goes off. Mag used an RP, and SF was like, YOLO, I'm going off here by myself. He was like down here. Whereas Mag was like back here, like on his own. Like, come on guys, I got an RP on maybe 2 or 3 heroes, but SF just went absolutely insane. SF at Lifestealer as well. Not just the SF. Lifestealer was the one leading the charge, but that's not the right move to go charging in. Zenith are trying to siege their tower, and Zenith are hoping that they do something like that. Pause now coming out as SF has DC, but SF has no buyback. Pause or no pause. There's 53 seconds with SF on the sidelines, so this is going to be at least another set of Raxes here, but this to me looks like GG. They're calling GG. I think they realize this position is unwinnable for them. Zenith, well, they take down ForLove in our quarterfinals here, guys. It was not easy for them, and I'll just show you how not easy it was. They were down at one point by 5k gold early on. ForLove were up by about 10 kills. 10 kills, 5k gold lead, and the XP was, wow, at one point even 5k in the favor. No, that's actually 5k in the favor of ForLove. ForLove at various points at 5k XP lead, 5k gold lead, and Zenith had to claw their way back in this game, especially with an underfarm Weaver, a Templar Assassin who got really under-leveled, but Ice on the lone Druid, as well as this Zenith team, the Darkseer as well, ex-Freedom. They took advantage of some mistakes from ForLove. ForLove, they just pushed at some bad times, chose some really bad fights, and as a result, Zenith, they scrape through, they get themselves a win. They're going to advance to the semi-finals, where I believe they verse the winner of Myth Trust and Rising Star, so possibly another Chinese team awaiting Zenith in Rising Star, or possibly it's going to be the Thai boys Myth Trust. I believe that's how the bracket works. I'm not sure which side of the bracket they're on. Maybe it's going to be First Departure and Neolution It, who they verse the winner of. I'll let you guys know in just a second, guys, but that was Zenith defeating ForLove in a really entertaining game. That was close. ForLove really pushed Zenith to the distance, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. This is Gods casting on Beyond the Summit. That's me. And we're going to be back soon with more live Dota 2 action here in our Dotatalk League, sponsored by Steel Series, as well as Heavy Arm. I had to pop up my my other scene just to check who our other sponsor was. But that's Heavy Arm. And big thanks to Dotatalk for hosting this event, guys. We'll be back soon with your semi-final match, which will be Zenith up against their next opponent, who I'm not quite sure who it is. It looks like Neolution Int won their first game, so it may be them or it may be the winner of Myth Trust and Rising Stars. Anyways, guys, see you soon.